everybody, happy hump day Wednesday. I hope everyone had a wonderful, those in the US had a wonderful extended holiday weekend. Labor Day was this past weekend. Anyway, welcome everybody to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. Today is a pattern review and another look from my 2021 summer mood board. Yes, I'm still sewing summer gear because it's hot, and it's hot today. So anyway, but I actually think this will be a beautiful transition piece, and I have on the garment. Now, I typically don't wear the ones that I'm talking about during the video, but I don't have anything particular to show on the inside of this particular garment, so I figured I would just wear it when I record it. But this is the Friday Pattern Company Wilder gown, and so for those who have been following, you know I am doing a rounding out this month my 2021 summer mood board. I will link to the playlist so you can go back and watch it, but let me pop up some pictures to remind you what the inspirational look was from my Pinterest board, which I had pinned in those videos. I'll pin it again down in the description box. But this was the look that I saw that I was like, I absolutely love. Of course I love the color, but I did love that look on her. And so I figured the Wilder gown was perfect. And so that's what I have on. I have mine open because you'll see in pictures and videos, so make sure you're watching the screen, different ways that maybe I tied it up or whatever like that. But for me, I personally, because I don't like things up around my neck like this, I just like it open, draped open. And that's what I did actually. Let me just tell you, I just gather up where the tie is. I just gathered it up some, and I just let it just flop open. That's how I like it, like to wear it. So yes, this is from that inspirational look. And so I am so very pleased with it. For those who have made the Wilder gown or thinking about making the Wilder gown, one of the things that I noticed when I was doing research on the pattern and looking at all these reviews, it's like a ton of reviews and everything out there for it, the one thing that was very consistent was the bodice length. And so I was sure to measure the bodice length because I didn't want it too short. So most of the people who made the full version, which there are let's see here, 1, 2, 3 versions. So you can make the Wilder gown top, you can make just a straight line dress or the tier dress. I did the tier dress, but everyone who has made it has talked about how the bodice was too short on them. Well, some people that I looked at where the bodice was short, and that's usually for the people who were more short-waisted or have larger breasts. And so yeah, I was like, let me make sure I take that into consideration and measure. And so that's exactly what I did. So the adjustments I made, so let me share with you the adjustments and then I'll get into the pattern review. Like I said, I don't want to wear it tied up. That's just not a look that I like personally. I like it open like this. It works for me. Like I said, I would just draw it up depending on how loose I want this area. I will just draw up the string, say like this all the way around, make sure it's gathered up in the back or something like that. And that's how I would rock it. Of course, I'm wearing my purple jewelry. Actually, this was the set I picked up from Paparazzi a month ago or whatever at a vending event. But anyway, so that's what I have on. And I have on my head wrap again, which goes very well, even though they're not the same fabric, goes very well with this. But again, you'll see all this in the full look in the picture. So there were 3 different adjustments I made for this particular pattern. The first adjustment I made were the sleeves. You all know I typically love wearing short sleeve or sleeveless. And so I wanted, these sleeves are close to the arm, but I didn't want that. I wanted just a touch of volume on the sleeve at the bottom. So what I did was make an adjustment to expand the bottom of the sleeve so I can gather it in. And that's what I did. I just, you know, put some elastic in there and gathered it in so I can have that look. So here's my waist, and the I pretty much hit it right there where the I adjusted the waist. I extended it down 2 inches. So had I not, it would have been all up here and would have been too high, but it hits perfectly now. And then, well, you won't be able to see. I'll show you in the picture. There's 2 tiers at the bottom of the dress, and so I knew I did not want that the fullness of the tiers. The length of them were just way too long for me, and so I measured where I typically like for my dresses, skirts, or whatever to hit. And so I wanted this one just a little bit longer, so it is just a tad bit lower than my knee, but I wanted that for this type of dress and this fabric. Let me just pause for the calls on the fabric. This is the viscose challis in lavender. This is from Minerva.com, and I actually was inspired by Crystal from Crystal Sews and Stuff. When she popped up this picture over on Instagram, I was like, that fabric is gorgeous. And then if you saw, and I liked it was a 2-piece that she made, a skirt and the cami that she has on, but I like the drape and look of it. But yeah, I was like, yes, I have to have that. That is absolutely beautiful. And so I used her link to go ahead and purchase the fabric from Minerva. So that's what I did. And I purchased, okay, I had to go look it up, but I purchased 4 meters of this, just because, again, it's tiers, and you know, with the tiers, they're just big rectangular pieces. And for those pieces, like I did for this pattern, you have to cut those out on the on a single layer. So I wanted to make sure I had enough fabric for this. This fabric is 58 inches wide, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's wide fabric, but again, these tiers, the square pieces are really wide. And so yeah, that is the fabric. Absolutely love. Just, what can I say? It's in my color. I love the floral, what is it, leaves, look like almost like palm leaves, all over it. I don't know what kind of flowers these are, but anyway, I absolutely love it. And I will link down to the fabric down below if you are interested in it. But so far as the other adjustments that I made besides the sleeves, and I'll drop in a quick a short video here that's showing how I extended the sleeve. So the bottom of the sleeve, I drew a line across where it attached underneath, and then I drew lines to spread those apart. So hopefully you can kind of see that in the video clip that I popped in. So that was a adjustment. That was the only pattern piece adjustment I made besides lengthening the bodice by 2 inches. Those were the only 2 pattern piece adjustments I made. So far as the tiers, the first tier, I only wanted it to be 8 inches long, because usually for tops, so where I would want it to hit for this style of top, that's where I wanted it to hit for the dress. And then the second tier, the bottom tier, is 17 inches. And so and I don't know if I didn't even measure what the normal width of the and I'm 5'7", so I didn't measure the normal width or length of each tier, because I know I didn't want it to be that long anyway. I just knew about where I wanted everything to hit on me, and I measured the pattern pieces that way and cut them out that way. So I did not, this is actually a fabric I would typically French seam. However, I did not feel like French seaming this, mainly because I was just being lazy and just didn't feel like it. And so everything is serged on the inside, and I used my, although when I do serge, Is anybody else like this? My serger thread do have to match. So I use, I don't know if you can tell, it's lavender thread I had in my serger. And so I use that to serge everything on the inside. And so, yeah, I will say the pattern, whoops, I will say as far as the instructions for this pattern, so super easy. Nothing complicated about this at all. But what I like, and I'll tell you the size and everything I cut here in a moment, but what I like is that it does have that top version. And for me, I think I would just use the first tier and do a shorter first tier for my top, and not make the top version that's straight up and down. I like having that little, almost like a peplum look at the bottom, and that would be the bottom. But again, I would have to adjust like my bodice and everything to make sure it's hitting pretty much where I would make sure it's hitting, I should say, at the spot that I would want it to for a top, because I might think about shortening it just a tad bit for the top version. But I do want to do a top version. This is just way too easy to put together. The what was the longest thing to sew up? Because you can get this done, I would say, in 4 hours. After you've cut it out, trace. I trace my sleeve, I trace my bodice pieces, and and that was it. So those are the only pieces I traced. I cut the tiers because they're just rectangles, so I'm not worried about tracing a rectangle. But yeah, that is. Those are the adjustments I made, and that is the adjustments I would consider if I wanted to just make the top version. The size that I chose, I'm right now at a 44-45. I'm kind of in between, so I went with the 45. Full bust, my waist is 36-37. I went with 37, and then my hip is a 47. And so I went with the size extra large. And this pattern actually goes up to a 4X. So the inches for the bust start at the smallest size of a 32 and goes up to the fullest size of a 54 to 54 inches, the 4X. Now, finished garment measurements for the 4X is 60, so that's quite a bit of ease. And so for the size that I chose, I just told you, I'm a 45. I went with 45, 37, 47. But I decided to go with the size extra large because the extra large finished garment measurement bust is a 48. The hips a 68. So I knew that, okay, the ease in the bust I'm good with, because that means I can still get away with wearing this for a little while yet. And here the ease in the rest of it is enough ease for me. So definitely, as I always say, you all know, for me, when I'm looking at patterns, I look at the finished garment measurement to see how much I want my measurements to eat up any ease, and that may determine if I need to go down the size. And based on this, I did go down the size, because if I cut my size, I would have been cutting a probably an XXL. And so, but I didn't want to do that. I thought extra large was good enough, even though my body measurements was larger than the body measurements for the pattern. I knew in the finished garment measurements it would work out fine, and it most certainly did. And so what I would say is that I highly recommend the pattern. It is nothing, it's nothing complicated about this. Easy breezy, throw on like this. I like this loose movement, this just very comfortable. And like I said, for me, what I also love about this is that I get to wear this past summer and into our late fall, because it's still absolutely gorgeous here in the late fall before it turns winter. And but I absolutely love it. I actually purchased my pattern because I had purchased some fabric from LA Finch Fabrics. And so no, was that LA Finch Fabrics? Okay, yes, it was LA Finch Fabrics, and at the time I went ahead and ordered this pattern from LA Finch Fabrics off their website. And so obviously you can get this from Friday Pattern Company's website as well, but LA Finch Fabrics does sell it as well. So yeah, that is it. There's nothing I can say about the pattern that, oh, look out for this, look out for that, outside of the length of the bodice piece. Make sure you measure that, and so it's hitting you at the right spot. You want to make sure it's not all cutting you off at the breast or anything like that. So that is it. Make sure you stay tuned for Sunday. Oh, I wanted to share this with you, but make sure you stay tuned for Sunday. That will be my next summer mood board look, and it is the Phoebe clutch. So I will have that coming up for you on Sunday, so make sure you stay tuned. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to thumbs up this video on your way out. And yeah, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. But I did want to share this real quick. I was so happy to play in this today. You all know I've had this, I've shown this many a times, but this is the Juvia's Place. So I know I have some fellow purple lovers out there. You might want to consider picking this up. I'll leave a link to it down below, but look at those colors. I love playing in this palette. So for my purple lovers, if you are interested in a color palette like that, I will leave a link down to Juvia's Place down below. But yeah, that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the pictures and the short little video and all of that for this look. Let me know what you think. I am getting through my summer mood board items, and so yes, I am so super excited about it. But thank you everybody for tuning in today. You all have a blessed rest of your week, and stay tuned. We will see you on Sunday. Bye.